style questions.
Sam, how much different does this year kind of feel for you than last, knowing the job's yours, you're a quarterback, you're starting? How do you think so?
Yeah, I think, having a full year under my belt, it's obviously a lot more comfortable, knowing most of the guys in the locker room now, being around them for a whole year. It's comfortable, and it's awesome to be around great guys like that for a full year and get to know them. And right now I think all of us are just eager to get back. It's exciting to be back and, ready to get going.
How would you kind of assess where you're at learning this offense?
I think I'm in the latter stages of learning it. I mean, there's always progress to be made every single week during the season. There's always things that we add and all that kind of stuff. But I definitely think, I got the kind of the nuts and bolts of it so far. But there's obviously a lot more progress to be made. But I definitely got the basics down.
What do you want to see from the offense, maybe in these first few practices, from yourself and from the offense generally?
I think for us, it's communication, understanding protections, and really just executing at a high level and making sure that we're all on the same page.
Sam, what did you get out of spending some time with some of your guys?
Yeah, I learned a ton. Most importantly, I think, we were able to spend time to kind of go over the verbiage of the offense, and I got to know them a lot better. I think everyone just talking, having different conversations with each other was good. The more you get to know your teammates, the more you know them on the field as well. So I think it was good from that standpoint.
So there is a tangible, benefit for spending time in the summer
Yeah.
What could happen during the season?
Yeah, definitely. I think whenever you spend time in the off season, when guys are eager to kind of get out there, and I know some guys couldn't make it due to certain circumstances, but for the guys that were out there, it was good to kind of see them and just go over some stuff that we needed to go over. But like I said, I think the best part about it was just spending time with them off the field and getting to know them a little bit more.
So how would you describe your working relationship with Adam Gase?
I think, me and Coach Gase have a great relationship off the field. Then on the field, we're able to communicate very well with each other. And, again, his personality, I feel like matches up to mine pretty well. And we're always in constant communication. And I think that's how it should be between player and coach.
What is it about your personality and his personality that matches up?
I think for us, we're both normal people. I think it's good to be able to have conversations with him that don't include football. But I think when you're able to have conversations like that about personal life, family, friends, all that kind of stuff, it makes having football conversations a lot easier and a lot smoother.
What are your expectations for this team?
A lot of wins. I think for us, we're really locked in on the present. Even this being the first day of training camp, making sure everyone's, moved into the hotel and getting everyone checked in and all that, that's really our main focus. But I think, when it comes down to it, it's really focusing 1 week at a time. That's kind of how it's always been here, and I think our players are really used to that. My teammates are, really locked in on what's going on right now. So that's really how it is and how it's going to be, for the future.
Sam, do you think there's enough talent to be a playoff contender?
Definitely. I think there's enough talent on this roster to be a playoff contender. But, again, like I said, for us, it's 1 week at a time mentality. We got to take it like that. And, if guys are looking too forward in the future, I feel like we could slip up here in the present. So I think it's definitely you definitely have expectations of making it to the playoffs, and we definitely have the talent to do it. But I think, the way that you get there is focusing 1 week, really 1 day at a time.
Has anything changed for you leadership-wise from last year?
I think for me, like I said in the beginning, it's just kind of knowing the guys more and being able to communicate more with the guys in a more fluid way. I think that's just kind of who I am. I take, a little bit to get to know someone, and vice versa. They get to know me in a little bit slower way. And I think, having a whole year under my belt, getting to know the guys, I think I'm definitely able to communicate a lot better with some of them. And because I think that's really all it is communication. If we're all on the same page as a team, where we want to go, how we want to attack the year, what kind of culture we want to set, then I think, the future is very bright for us. But that's all good.
Now that you have the so-called rookie growing pains out of the way, what are your expectations for yourself this year?
I think for me, it's just about completing the football, really finding completions, and just staying consistent with that. Not getting, not trying to make too much happen on a certain play, really just staying within myself, letting the game come to me. I think if I do that, then I'll have a successful year.
Sam, in recent memory, there's kind of been a lot of second-year quarterbacks that have taken a significant jump. Carson Wentz did it, Jared Goff did it, even Trubisky did it as well. Have you seen some things early on that make you think you're ready to take that same step?
Say that again, sorry. It's all good.
There's a guy going here, though.
I know.
Your question was too long.
It's all good.
Is that it?
No, you're good.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, right. You've seen a lot, there's been a significant amount of quarterbacks that entering their second year have taken
That's right.
significant steps forward. Like Goff, Wentz, those guys did it, Trubisky did it. Why do you think that's kind of happened, and do you see similar things in your game that make you believe you're kind of ready to take a similar jump?
Yeah, I think for me it's just, and I think with a lot of the guys that do make that leap in their second year, it comes with experience. I think playing a full year, or not a full year, but playing a lot of games last year and kind of getting the NFL experience, I guess you could say, it's helpful, man. It's the more reps you get in a game, the more comfortable you become. And I think you kind of saw that later in the year with my play. The last few games, I felt so much more comfortable out there. And, the more games that I play, the more comfortable I'll feel. So with that being said, I'm just excited to kind of get this thing rolling, start playing games. And I think, with the weapons that we have on offense, the great O-line that we have, and, obviously the running game that we're going to have, I think, like I said, the sky's the limit for us.
What's Le'Veon going to be able to do for the offense and for you this year?
A ton. I think Le'Veon, we're going to give him as much as we can because he's such a talent. But I think at the end of the day, he's here to run the football because he's such a talented running back. But, there are a lot of ways that we're going to involve him in this offense.
You mentioned earlier this offseason about some of the tweaks you made mechanically in the winter part of the offseason. Is there anything you did between the end of spring practices and now in terms of some more tweaks or anything like that?
I think for me, it was really just getting myself in shape. I think July is really the month for guys to kind of train really hard. Get their bodies in shape for the season. I think I did that, and I'm right where I want to be. Heading into training camp and going into this season. So, again, just super stoked to get the year rolling and get the guys in here and start grinding away.
In addition to the training part of July, did anything change for you, either conditioning-wise, diet-wise, getting yourself ready this year compared to last year?
For sure, yeah. I think I'm definitely. I kind of know what to expect. Going into training camp and going into the year, I know where my body needs to be. Because again, going into I've never played a 16-week season before, so I think knowing what it takes to get my body to get ready to play 16 games. I didn't really know what it took in the beginning. For my rookie year, so. Knowing exactly what it takes and just getting myself, my mind, my body ready to attack this 16-week season, I think I did a good job of that this kind of spring.
Was that losing weight, Sam? Gaining weight? What were you kind of focused on?
No, I was really focused on maintaining my weight, but just losing fat, gaining muscle. So I thought I did a good job of that, and hopefully it pans out.
With Le'Veon Bell, kind of a two-part question as far as getting on the same page with him. What is it like for a quarterback as far as handoffs? The public thinks it's just easy, you just hand off, but there's probably a method to that. And also getting on the same page with him as a receiver. Last time we saw him, he had 85 catches in a season, so clearly he's going to be a big part of that too. So handoffs and receiving for Le'Veon.
Definitely, I think with Lev, I think it's definitely. Handing the ball off, first of all, there is an art to it because you also got to be able to set up play action as well. So just kind of getting as much mesh as we can together in drills during practice, before practice really gets going. I think that'll help. And then receiving-wise, I think Le'Veon's just going to kind of do his thing. He's such a talented individual, so gifted in terms of what he can do, so athletic. So we're gonna, I think we're gonna give him some freedom out there to kind of, move the way he wants and run some option routes, do what he can. But obviously within the scheme of the offense. So it's going to be fun to kind of see what he does, but at the same time, it'll be fun to kind of use him as a decoy sometimes if he gets going, for other guys to get involved, because we got a lot of talent out there on the field.
You were in Quinnen's shoes this time last year as far as not having a contract coming into camp. Do you have any kind of words of advice? I mean, I know you guys play different positions, the situation is a little different, but any words of advice for him just kind of sitting tight as this thing wraps up?
Yeah, I think, I think for me, especially, for the, latter half of what I dealt with kind of in contract negotiations and all that, it's nothing that you deal with personally. Your agent's really trying to figure it out, and really the whole agency is trying to figure it out. So for me, it was about staying patient, knowing exactly what needed to get done, and just really staying patient with it, because really at the end of the day, those few practices, really couple practices that I did miss, I don't know how much of an impact that had on the season, so I think for Quinnen, it's really about just staying patient, understanding what your agency needs to do for you, and that's really it.
There's obviously a lot of optimism in the building right now. What gives you confidence that Adam is the right guy to ultimately get this franchise back on track?
Yeah, I think first of all, his personality is great. The whole building, you can kind of sense almost a rebirth. I mean, I feel like the whole building is very energized. There's a lot of energy within the building, a lot of good vibes. So I think for us, it's just kind of feeding off of that, and it happens naturally. I mean, we can already feel it in the building, and especially with Joe Douglas as well. I mean, I feel like it's there's good vibes in the building, and as long as you have that good energy, we can win with that.
Jacob, what is it about being coached by Adam with his offensive background that excites you?
Yeah, I think, first of all, the guys that he's coached so many different personalities, so many different players. So, and I feel like he already has a good feel of what I'm like on the field, how I play, so, and how I am off of it as well. So it's already good to kind of, be able to have those conversations with him, and just be on the same page with him as much as I can.
Everyone good?
Thanks, Adam.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Now the rest of the team's coming in next. Is that it?
I might.
Oh, yeah.